In this video, let's take a look at how we can create light. For example, the ring on top and then this gradient light here. And the information for light is actually the emission. This is basically the color of the light, and then the strength, well, the strength. 0 is the lights are off. 100, 1000 is like supernova right inside this room. So we have to be very careful about the values we will use. Okay, so we will start with the easy element. That's this thing here. It's a little bit on top, so it sticks out tiny. So let's go to this view and see, is there a little bit of geometry we can do with this? And there kind of is. So we will do the following. Control R, click like this. Very nice. I want to zoom in one more time. So there's this tiny black ring that goes around it. Okay, so Control R. There, this little strip is the black piece that remains, and then here Control R there, G and Z, and we just lift this up just a little bit. Okay, and then Control B. Using the mouse wheel, we just bevel this a little bit. Okay, cool. So all these faces, which I just modeled, and hold Shift and Alt, we add this to it. That now gets the new light material. So plus here, and then we can say light. We can find the light color in this image. So click on the eyedropper, click to there. Zoom out a little bit and assign. There we are. And there's the emission strength. Let's turn the lights off and turn the emission off. And there you see, there it is. Now we go really high, then at 10 already, it's so bright we don't see the color anymore. By the way, from this view now, you can see this initial tessellation we have, which is actually not really good. Now this really sticks out. I kept this there so that at one point you can start seeing, again, going back to the part when we talked about how we mesh this geometry. Don't make it too fine, way too much work. Don't make it too coarse, because then it will look like a game geometry. So here with the way we have, when we zoom in, this doesn't look so good from a distance. However, it's still pretty cool. Okay, so you can see without any light present, what the emission material does is it actually makes an object, well, look bright. When we now switch over to cycles, yeah, okay, we don't really see much. 10, there. So when we go higher, 100, there, you see? It's emitting light. How freaking awesome is that? Okay. Let's go back to Eevee and set this to 1. Oh, actually, notice here the reflections are popping or showing this. Very good. So this part is kind of done. Let's go back here to this material, and this thing we will hide. So how do we do this one now? The easy task would be, okay, this is the whole thing that will get a light. So plus material slot, light, assign, boom, there's my light thing. AA, show the other piece. Very cool. If I adjust this light, you see everything follows it. But we know this has a gradient, so it doesn't work so easy. So how can we can we do this? We want to adjust something like this here. So we can experiment a little bit. Our helper here will be a gradient texture. So Shift A, texture, gradient. Let's take a look at first what this does. Plug this in there. Okay, so we can see there's some sort of a transition happening. Let's maybe make this a 0. Shift A, color, and mix RGB so I can better see what's actually going on. Aha, so from left to right is the gradient along the x-axis. R and Y, if I rotate this, okay, so follows the object. Good. So that means Shift A, input texture coordinate, looks like this is generated. Yeah. If I would like to rotate this, we need to add a rotate command. So Shift A, vector, because this is directional adjustment, mapping, and here, no, it's not that one. Is it the X one? Let's see. Oh, wah. That's scale, not rotate. So here, rotate, that is doing it. But then it's somewhere down there. Can we move this up or so? Yeah, we can. Is it which one, however? Yeah, so we see it's actually here, the x-axis. So with this, I can move this whole thing up and down. Again, the gradient is basically from red to white and making a blend. An additional tool to customize this is Shift A, converter color wrap, which is a gradient in terms of just from left to right. So now I could push this one further up, so I give more red. I could bring this one down, so we have more white, a very short transition. Now you see actually what we can do with this, so it's quite useful. Okay, good. So looks like actually that this chain of commands works pretty good. So what happens when we take this here? Let's make this maybe 2 there. Okay. What happens when we also turn this one to black? Okay, yeah, good. So we add light to it. This then overrides the black. What happens when we put this one to here? Oh, see that? Isn't that awesome? So, there's my emission thing. There is the base. Yeah. See, now we have actually our gradient. When we set this to 0, we can actually bring this a little bit up and finer control the start actually this way, like there. Very nice. We have a linear here. What happens when we set this to B-spline? Then we get, you can actually see this is black and then gray and not black here. We get different transitions. See, this is actually pretty sharp. Ease was nicer. Constant is actually, well, constant, no? It's like yes or no. Linear, yeah. Ease is actually nice. It's a little bit softer. Cool. Okay. So Alt H. And yeah, there we now actually have this part. The only thing is with this, we kind of like don't have a value now to adjust. So we go to this part for light. Or is this, oh, this is all actually the same material. Yeah, 2. Good. Okay. So what I wanted to say is we don't have a number to adjust for the value. And how can we do this? So what we'll do is, this is the inside thing here. So I will click make this an own user, and I will call this one light. Not tunnel. No, cylinder. And here, this is actually light ring. For this one, we will retire all this stuff. Good night. Oh, there I can turn this one on to be stronger. And then here, this can be softer for the inside. So the strength for this, I can adjust with this. You see it on, we'll make this softer or stronger. Can we do this with 4? Yeah, we can. You see, this is actually then what we get here with 4 is similar to when we would type in a 4. I assume. So let's double check. No, actually, so this is not 100% the same. Maybe 2? So maybe 3. Oh no. I guess maybe it was 4. What about 3.5? Yeah, that's it. Cool. So we matched it, so we got something that's actually pretty close. Good. So when we want to make this dimmer, essentially, then this value we simply just tone down, or we go back to what we wanted to have. It's a little bit a hackish approach, but you saw that didn't really take me very long to visually match this stuff. Another alternative would be to mix this bottom material with the upper material, so a light and a plastic. Now that's one option. I can show you how this works, just so you see. So this would be then the alternative way how to do this. Here, this color, now we will set just to 1. We just need a black and white. Now this whole thing is white. Shift T, make a new material. 0. This has no emission. Okay, now between these two materials we want to mix. Now we have here an RGB mix, and under shader we have a mix shader. This is our factor. And then shader number 1, shader number 2, and flop. Okay, let's reverse the order. Yeah, there we are. Cool, no? So here now I can adjust the value as I want. So if I type in 8 for there, very good. And I can select this one and say you also 8 there. So this is more uniform, but simply requires that we have 2 different materials we have to blend between. Since this is a light, also essentially there's no reflection on it. Wait, this was the plastic. The light has no reflection. There we are. Plastic bump. So also here, Control C, copy the material 1 and 0.4 and 1.4. Paste the color in. There we are. So the lower section is now color matched to the rounded part. So this plastic. Okay, pretty cool, no? So not too complicated. Let's set this to 1. Go to here. Let's set this to 2. Very nice. Save. This is 0. And let's see how this looks in cycles when we do rendering. Cool, no? Yeah. Pretty awesome. Now this is a little bit more dimmed because we have this plastic element that goes around it. Yeah. Okay, that's basically then everything for this part, how to create a light material and add it to it. And as you see, that's actually pretty easy.